I couldn't hide it. We exchanged contact details, and I could see the joy in him as he collected mine. I told him I would drop him home in my brand new Range Rover, and I pointed it to him. He declined and said he had already called for his car. It looked old, a 2001 Honda Accord. I invited him the next day for lunch at my house. A part of me wanted to impress him, to show off my success and affluence to him, while another was to discuss opportunities and possibly help him. He drove to Parkview, where I lived, Parkview Estate, where I lived. He looked impressed with my home. I had taken a heavy mortgage. Mortgage is a loan you take to build a house. I had taken a heavy mortgage. In fact, I was heavily in debt. We had lunch. He told me he was into small business, and particularly real estate. I brought up more business discussions, but he didn't sound too interested. I asked him how I could help him. He said he was fine. I even told him if he was interested, I could help him secure some loans. He looked at me and smiled. He told me he will invite me over soon to his place. His old car came for him. I was grateful to God for what I had. Fingers, after all, fingers are not equal. I thought to myself. I was lucky. I worked in a good place, in a good company. 2 weeks later, my wife and I went to see him in a remote area by his invitation. Initially, my wife was reluctant to go because she was not impressed with the man's status as to warrant our visiting him in his house. I was able to convince her that we were close friends in college. So we saw the estate, drove into the estate, and asked for directions to his home. Those leading us spoke his name with difference. It was a simple nearby. That company owned about 38 shares, 38% shares, sorry, owned about 38% shares where I work. I inquired from him about the company. He smiled. He told me he owned the company. He also owned the estate. I did not know when I called him sir. I was in awe of him too. I had learned a lesson in humility. A big one. Appearances are deceptive. He noticed my discomfort. Driving back home, I was very quiet. My wife was humbled and extremely calm. I could perceive the thoughts in her mind. I looked at myself, living on loans, heavy loans, and showing off why someone who pays my salary is quite modest and living a simple life. What a story. What an interesting story. The story is such an interesting one. When I read it, as a friend of mine sent to me, and I pulled out 5 lessons from there that I believe will help to make you a better person this year, 2024. Lesson number 1. Deeper rivers flow in majestic silence. Deeper rivers flow in majestic silence. Only empty drums that makes the loudest noise. People of substance don't make noise. Deeper rivers flow in majestic silence. Avoid being a sounding cymbal this year. Make less noise about your life, your achievement, who you are, you want to be. Because it's not the noise you make that determines who you are. When you see two people fighting on the road and hear, do you know who I am? The man who says that most is the man who is nobody. You hear what I'm saying? Is a man who is not even sure of who he is. That's his number one lesson. It's all there. Your worth in life is not by the wealth you display. Dangote said something that shocked me last year. He said, I never believed that I'm a rich man. People say, Dangote is a rich man. So say, I didn't believe it. He said, because I don't own a car. I don't own a house in London. He said, I have staff who own houses in London. He said, I don't go on vacation abroad. I have staff who travel abroad for vacation. He said, but the day I believe I'm a rich man was the day I went to the bank and I said, I need $10 million for my money. Cash. And gave me. And I looked at it. I said, now I believe I'm a rich man. And I said, put it back there. So he just withdrew and deposited back. Did you hear what I said? He doesn't have one car registered in his name. Even the cars that he drives, they are registered to Dangote Group. I have a friend. He's a man helped by God. He has not spent, he's been traveling since 1977. He has not spent more than 7 days outside Nigeria. Anytime he travels. But I was amazed. Anytime I meet him and you see the phone in his hand, you will be shocked. You will be shocked. You see the phone in his hand, you will be shocked. You will think he's a salesman, and his stature too is a very funny one. He has a very funny stature. Very slim. Very slim. But very, very loaded. He has a chain of 7 companies, and he has 3 of them being managed by white men. 3 of his companies, own companies. MDs, you are looking at somebody else. And you will get it wrong when you do that. The fear to everyone. You want people to believe you, then try to believe others. Jesus said, do to others as what? As you want people to do to you. That's what Jesus said. As you want them to do to you, do to others. Your perception about others, you need to work on it. Check how you see other people. Consider how you see other people. And take action. You don't just read for fun. You don't learn for fun. You read the pages of books. And if that is the best of who you could be, you will have gone further than where you are. But the reason why you will seem stuck where you are is that who you have been all this while is not the best of you. If you can change, you will go further. If you can change, you will move faster. If you can change, things will work better. Don't get yourself stuck. Don't tell me that is the way we are in our family. That is the way we do. That's the way we behave. When we talk. No. I was talking to somebody some years back, long time ago. You know about being a talkative, talking too much. He said, that's the way we are in our family. When we talk. Don't talk the one you will talk until one day will put you into trouble. If your speech is not better than your silence, better be silent. It's not about talking. It's about saying something that's meaningful, that's valuable. You will find an answer somewhere there. Occupy yourself less with junks. Occupy yourself less with things that have no bearing in where you are going in life. Spend more time to invest into your destiny, to your life. Read and learn. And the things you have learned, take actions on them. Nothing changes until you act. It's not the volume of things you know that determines who you become. It is the actions that you take. Change what you need to change. Work on what you need to work on. It's important. It's important. Listen to me. No matter how hardworking you are, if you don't have financial intelligence, you will end up poor. No matter how hardworking you are, the reason many Christians are poor is not because they pray, they give tithes, they give offering, sow seed. But you see, God, you are also giving you financial intelligence. But several Christians don't embrace it. That's why God says, my people are destroyed. For what? Lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge, intelligence, the necessary intelligence required. So many of you don't know how to handle money. That's why you're always in need and always needy. Because money does not answer to needs. You didn't hear what I said? Money does not come to you because you need it. The people that need money are the people that don't have money. People that have money are those that have the intelligence to control money. Read, learn. That's what I'm talking about. Go and do research. Seek for financial intelligence. I was planning to do a meeting this January. Then I dropped it. Maybe I'll do it probably maybe sometime later in the year. So while I was planning to do the meeting, checked out a venue for the meeting. Nice place, nice venue. That will cost some serious bucks, some good money. This will cost about 100 and something thousand. Because it's going to be a business meeting, a financial enhancement seminar. To teach people on how they can take charge of their finances. And then I was speaking to a friend, two friends, one guy and a lady who were chartered accountant and their personal finance coaches. So I want them to come around, and that meeting, I want them as speakers in that meeting to speak there. So I'm looking at about 20 people, 25 people. It's not, of course, it's not a church service anyway, so that you will know. I'm going to be doing some meetings like that this year. Not church service. Church service is different. Some of the things I'm even sharing with you now, not meant for church service. It's meant for some exclusive meetings. For people who are going to work on things you say to them. I've had meetings that I've had to speak to some CEOs. So, when I spoke to this friend, I said, I want to come around and then speak to some, upwardly mobile young people who are trusting God to make some good things out of their life. He said, okay, so how many hours do you want me to speak? I said, well, about 2 hours or 2.5 hours. He said, okay, I take 200,000 for 1 hour. But because it is you, it's you as a pastor, I know you very well, sir. For the 2 hours, I'll take 250,000 naira to speak. I will only be doing that because it is you. But normally, I take 200,000 for 1 hour. Did you hear what I said? No, you did not hear me. Okay, you did not hear me. You see, the reason many of you don't work on the things that that is shared with you is because you got those things free of charge. So you don't know the worth and the value of some of the things I share with you, even when I share them from here. Even when I share things that are business, secrets that will help you, you go back to that same business you are doing and keep doing it the same way you are doing it because you can't see value in the things that you have been told because you did not pay for it. But there are people who pay. Oh, God of heaven. They are so simple things. As I thought you came to come and see me. Was it last year or this year? When was that? Was it last year or this year? This year. Okay, this year. Daddy, I don't know. I want you to just help me out on 1, 2, 3 things. I looked at her and laughed. I said, this one you're asking me, it's not your pastor's duty. It's not pastoral work. It's called consultation. And the real sense, of course, I did that because she's my daughter. But I told her, I've done it for people, and anywhere I do it, you pay and you send the money to me straight away, 250,000. For me to sit down with you for that 2.5 hours. And the things I share with you, are they helpful? Have you had them before? About the school. I said, it's one thing for you to have degree in education. It's another thing for you to know the business of running a school. It's one thing for you to know how to sew cloth. It's another thing for you to know how to run cloth making business. They are not the same thing. You can be sewing cloth till the day you die. And all you are doing is that you are sewing 1 cloth, 2 cloth, 10 cloths. Giorgio Armani is not sewing cloth. He's an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Those ones, they've left the business of the vocation of sewing cloth. They have employed people who sew cloth. What are you talking about? So, if you want to move out of where you are this year, read, learn, and take action. If you commonize the things you learn this year, listen to me, you will have common results. So once in a while, you have the privilege of sharing things that are of great value and very expensive. But I share them with you because I'm your pastor. But you don't know how much those things cost to have them. So, are you still here? Okay. So take a good step of action to change from the things you have read and the things you have learned. Take a good step of actions to change. Change does not come until you itemize the steps you will take to change. These are the things I will do. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I will change. No, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like I will change without a practical, itemized step to change. So you want to expand and anything you want to do, they have ferries. Ferries are small, like all these small ships, boats. They have that. They have water transportation in Lagos. Within Lagos, they have that. So they use ferries. So she took a ferry, and then when she got in, sat down, took a seat, and then here was this elderly man who should probably be about 60 something, late 60s, as they describe it to us, who also got into the ferry, but there was no seat. So old people, young people, elderly. It's very important. Pregnant women, learn to treat everyone good. Children. When you go to a place, there are people that have the way of the right of way. Now, if you are to pass through this door, and somebody else also is to pass through that door, all of you probably collide together. Elderly people were. You may not know for you that will actually prolong your life. Number 5, than how to impress people. Impressing people could get you killed. Impressing people could get you debt. Impressing people could destroy you. Impressing people, what will people say? It has killed many people. Oh. What will people say? I must do something that people will know. Like Yoruba land, they say, Agba. They go take. The marriage was over. But it was scattered. I think the brother of the groom wore one of the shoes of his brother. The wife saw it and said, see, wearing your shoe. Why will he be wearing your shoe? And the young man said he wore the shoe because the Ashebi they took, the shoe he came with does not match that. So he took the brother's shoe. So the wife started complaining. In the reception hall. Reception hall before they called Keiko, where they were sitting down. Family will be on the side of the man. Then the man's family will be at the side of the wife. That of the wife too, throw her own. Tie! That was how slap side going from here, right, left, and center. The lady just stood up, removed her ring, threw at the man. That was the end of the marriage. At the reception. Hundreds of thousands spent. Stop doing things because just stand to your feet. There are people who will go and borrow money today to dress big. And they won't be able to pay back for the next 3 years to debt. You see, there are 3 words that sound alike. Debt, D-E-B-T. Depth, D-E-P-T-H. So when you are in debt, you are inside pit. Then death, D-E-A-T-H. Otherwise, that wife should be called wife on credit. It should be called wife on credit. So, please be very careful. Anything you know you cannot comfortably pay for is not your size yet. You didn't hear that one, no? Members can threaten. If you don't answer me, I will call you people out one by one. What do you mean by that? Amen. I'm talking about money to buy fuel now. They are keeping quiet. For where? For Zionhill Church. No, for Zionhill Church.